Trying so hard to survive. Trying so hard to survive. Trying so hard to survive. Yeah. Trying so. Back when I didn't have too much money. Yeah. Used to buy my
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? It's your boy Troy Weeks Music, and you're now tuning in live to Keepin It Funky with Troy Weeks Music. It is second Sunday, which means each and every second Sunday I'm here in the studio live in Scott Spencer Radio, home of the 18 where we do it. Got my boy Thailand today in the studio with me hanging out.
What's up?
What's up? Yeah, they hear you, so they're gonna hear you in audio here. And also, they're gonna. I got my live going. He has his live going too. So if you guys have questions and stuff, keep thinking about paying attention to his live, so you guys can definitely check it out. And guys, beloveds in the building. Woo, thank you.
What'd you say?
Talking to the mic. Yeah, there you go. Put your headphones. Yeah. All right, so cool. So before we get into the swing of things, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know I get one time a month to do this here with Scott's Crescent Radio. So I just want to just be thankful, and I love bringing people on to be able to give them a platform to do what it is that they like to do too. And also, some people don't know what it's like to be on radio or podcast or anything like that. So I like to be able to say, hey, you know what? Hey, friends, how y'all doing? Let's make it work. Let's do what it do. And some of my friends are doing amazing things. They're out here releasing music and performing and doing things. And so we want to be able to allow them to talk about those amazing things. So we're going to get into that a little bit later on. We're going to talk with Tylen about some of the music that he's working on. He just had a performance. I went to go show some love and check him out. That was pretty cool. So before we get into all that, just to sort of slight update, for some of you who don't know, I actually had an audition for The Real World last week.
How was that?
Thursday. OMG. It was crazy as hell. First of all, they had us they give us you fill out 2 different applications before they give you okay or yes, come meet the producers. And when you go meet the producers, it's like they give you audition time to come. You choose the time to come, but it's mad people there. It was mad people. Like, y'all know how I get. Y'all know me personally. Know, like, I show up and show out. So I go into this room. It's supposed to be like, my audition time. I show up. It says, on the email I have the people's names of who you're supposed to meet. So I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to meet. There's a long line. I'm like, okay, well, look, I'm supposed to meet these 3 people right here. Which way are those 3 people? She's like, oh no, that's everybody. I was like, oh, they okie doked our ass. But so I was like, you know what? It is what it is. So I made the best of the experience. I know it's so it ended up being like an open cattle call kind of audition. I'm like, well, you got to get seen. You got to make the best of it. And it almost got shut down because they had so many people show up to this audition, and it wasn't suited for the place that they chose. Was not suited for that.
Oh, that's crazy.
They had so many people show up that the police had to show up and like tell people to go home downstairs.
Oh, really?
Long story short, they ended up having to do auditions with 3 people to one producer. And I'm like, I didn't come all this way. I didn't stand up in here and it's looking all like this way to go this. So,
right.
Question: What is like an audition like for like a show like that? Because you're not like singing or anything. Like,
they asked you. This is what they asked. They asked you very simple, very quick, very easy. What's your name? Where you from? Are you gay, straight, or bi?
They just they just want to get all up in it.
Right, because they want to just put people in the house that pretty much
it's a business
that don't have, who don't really in a relationship, not tied to nobody, not got too much going on, so they can force situations to happen, and so that's why. Long story short, everyone, by the time I went to go do my audition with the guy, first producer guy, and I just felt like, yeah, this ain't it. I didn't come all this way to do this, so I went. Don't tell nobody, y'all. I went and took my application. I had 2 applications. I took it to the next producer and went into another room. And then I actually ended up seeing the producer who was actually one of the people that was names on that list. So long story short, she said, I like your personality. And I walked up out of there and everybody knew me as Blue Suit. So
you better work your way in there.
There's a will, you know what I'm saying?
Well, there's a will, there's a way. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we out here making it happen for sure. Yeah, so that's going on. I also have another radio show that I do every Sunday, Real Hot and Fresh, and I'll be leaving here to go run and do that. So just pay attention to my live. I'll probably go live there too. A lot of things going on. I just came from an audition for a documentary. Shout out to guys who hold them down. I just came up from a documentary audition and made it right here to the radio show right on time, y'all. We out here in these streets, okay? Out here doing it.
Working,
okay? But when I look up my Thailand on the ones and twos, I want to ask you a question because you and I were talking about a conversation. Thailand, he recently was living in Atlanta, working on a show. Do you want to shout it out or no?
No.
Okay, cool. Anyway, no worries. We don't have to.
They don't need it.
No worries. Cool. So he's in Atlanta working on the show, right? And he said something to me that was very striking to me. He's very eclectic in the way he styles his hair and himself. He's very proud of who he is, and he is very proud of who he is, and I love him for that. But he changes his hair a lot and wears a lot of different things. And some people are confused sometimes and don't know what's going on. But he recently moved to. He recently lived in Atlanta for a little while, and there were some crazy things that happened over there. And one thing that he told me about was there's I guess this not the only you're not the only person that told me this, but it's like sort of this epidemic of like men being fascinated with transsexuals.
Yeah.
So like. This big fascination of straight men and trannies. So it's like because of that, something happened. Talk to us, Tal.
everywhere, like, okay, I want to say everywhere that I went, but like majority of the places I went, people thought I was trans.
Oh, wow.
I don't know whether they thought I was male to female or female to male, but I just think the fact that if it's a black male and he wears like any type of hairstyle that's not like the norm,
Right.
then at the time though, see, I think my braids right now would be cool, but at the time I had me a long blonde bang. I mean, it's a swoop, you know what I'm saying? I had it down. I had a long, man, and like I had so many people, man. I don't know. Can we curse?
You can curse him.
Okay, no, because let me tell you what
You can
happened.
curse. Yeah, for sure.
Like, let me make sure we good.
Like, no, seriously. Okay, so I'm like standing there waiting for the MARTA. MARTA is like the
The
train.
subway, the
Yeah,
Atlanta subway.
there.
Shout out to the ATL. For real.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm on the train, right? I mean, I was about to get on the train, and this guy walked up to me. He was like, he asked me how to get somewhere. I'm like, I don't. It goes either east or west. I was like, I don't really know too much about it.
I ain't from
He
here,
was
right?
like, oh yeah, I ain't even from here. And then he's like, oh okay. So where you going? I'm like, east or west, but like I wasn't trying to tell him. And so he's like, oh well, I'm down with that TS stuff. I'm like, TS, what you talking about? What does the TS mean?
Right.
And he was
Like, you
like,
throwing
"Dude."
acronyms at me.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. And he was like, and he was like, can I suck your dick? And I'm like, excuse me, sir, for real?
Wow,
And then I was
okay.
like, so he meant TS as in trans. So, but I'm like, okay, so you automatically, I don't know which way he thought it was, but anyway, I kept getting it. But low key, that play, the one that you was talking about, that's how, okay, what I'm thinking, they thought that about me.
They thought you were trans?
I think that, okay, they either thought that or, I don't know. They had.
But what made you imply that they think that you were trans?
Because, okay, like the role, I'm not gonna shout them out because I ain't gonna give them that. But the role, no, because actually, no, some of the people in there is really cool. But anyway, the role that I was supposed to be playing was supposed to be like a hairstylist in the play, right? But they kept on trying to make me, like, how can I say? You ever seen back in the day? What's his name? In Living Color.
Yes.
What's it called?
Hated it, like that one?
Yeah, they were trying to make me that, and I didn't want to be a stereotypical type of gay male. I didn't want to be that, and they were just trying to like really push that. But they was really trying to like make me look trans as well, like with the way that they wanted me to dress and how they wanted me. I don't know, I just didn't want to be a stereotype. You know what I'm saying? No offense to anybody who does fit that, but it just wasn't me.
Right.
And they wanted me to be me.
true to you.
Yeah. So that was my whole experience in ATL was I guess I was low-key trans and I didn't know it.
That hurt my heart as a friend.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm not like trying to hate on nobody who is, but you know.
It is what it is.
I wasn't.
I'm not. For the record, he's not trans, okay?
I think it's because
It's
like
definitely not.
it's the hair, and then I'm like small, but I'm like, yo, if you check my Instagram, I'm trying to tell you, you will definitely know.
You will definitely see there's an eggplant, and it ain't made by, I'm just saying.
But it is what it is. It's still love for the trans community.
Yes,
You know,
of
whatever.
course, all day. So you do have some music that you're working on, some things you're working on. You are an artist. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, Tylen is an artist who. So talk to me a little about who you are, where you're from, that kind of thing, because you do have a little sort of your background is a little special and where you're from and the music and all that.
I am from Lansing, Michigan.
Okay, Michigan.
Yeah. Home of Michigan State University. All right, Big Red section. No, but I'm from Lansing, Michigan. My background, church group, singing in church and stuff. But
Yes,
then
church.
also, like, I've been classically trained, jazz, rock. I know I've been in all types of bands and all the different stuff. I'm more of a band type of dude, bands and groups.
Okay.
So now that I'm solo, it's kind of like, where's everybody?
Where's everybody
Where
at?
everybody at? No.
Right.
But yeah, that's it. And I have a single out. I should say that I gotta really start pushing that
Hello.
like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Anyway, no. So I got the single. If those who's on my page they know, but my single is called "Cinnamon Boy." And talking about like your style and the way you dress, that's the whole thing. Like Cinnamon Boy is about celebrating your own flavor. Mine just happened to
Cinnamon
be
Boy.
cinnamon, and
I
it's
like
a double
cinnamon, though.
entendre too. So it's like it's a sin for you to be that way. It's a sin for you to look that way. You know, you're supposed to fit into this one mode. That's what I feel like society says.
Right, exactly.
You know, but
So you're saying I'll be your cinnamon boy because I'll be whatever I want to be.
whatever the fuck I want to be, I'm gonna do it. Like I can't not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on. And then did you? I know I saw some visual stuff. I know you got dances on it. Did you shoot a video yet, or is something you're gonna work on?
well, see, that's like low key because I am doing something, and I want to low key tell you about that later.
We're gonna talk about
You
it.
trying to make him
'cause
spill all the
actually,
beans.
Like I want you to be a part of this.
Come on. I like being part of. You know, I
Yeah.
was part of
So,
Japan's
yeah.
video. Shout out to Japan.
No, but I want you
Check
in
out
it.
that. Ooh.
like it.
Got you. Okay,
like,
got you.
You'll see.
We're gonna
But
talk
yeah,
about it.
I got some.
Yeah, we gotta get this
coming
video.
out.
The visuals are everything. And you do have that song. We're gonna play it in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Jade? We're gonna play it in a minute. All right, cool. Not right now. Just in a second. And any interesting questions for Thailand? Just about curious. Anything you want to ever ask him? Like, you know, why you got him in front of you? You guys love it.
Well, I mean, so we never really got to like, you know, talk about like music and all of that stuff before. But I did get to look at one of your recent performances, and I thought it was really cool and really like eclectic and interesting. So I guess like, where do you get your inspiration from? And I guess like, what is the root of like your music?
Oh, so wait. The root of my music, like what I'm inspired by.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by a lot of stuff. Artists that inspired me that like is my favorite. If anybody knows me, they know TLC is my favorite in my all time favorite. They're my Michael
Yes,
Jackson.
TLC.
T-Boz is like my, and then she know because I've talked to her.
Right.
You know.
Wait. Yes. And this is something. This is my friend, so I can talk about it. He recently spoke to T-Boz. I thought that was so inspiring.
That's really
See,
cool.
my conversations. I was like, no, I'm saying we did. She actually, again, ATL, while I was in there, she gave me so much love while I was in ATL. Okay, she really kind of pushed me, like, because I was feeling some type of way.
My friend was feeling some type of way, y'all.
Situations that happened, because Atlanta is not like New York, okay, to where you can just be walking around and just free.
Yourself.
That sounds
It
like
is
a
not-
whole cup of tea.
Yes. So she was like, no, you keep wearing that hair. You keep doing your thing. Like, she was really giving me love.
That's what's
So
up.
I really, T-Boz is somebody I really look up to. And I always have. So that's, but other than TLC, like, I'm a big John Legend fan.
Okay, John Legend. I love me some John Legend too.
But just like, and a big Nirvana fan. Like rock, R&B. I'm just eclectic. My background is just full of like just all
Everything.
types of genres because that's like Lansing. That's all. You ain't ever heard of Lansing, right?
Who?
Don't they make speakers?
Like, exactly. So what we do, we don't have nothing to do. We just be singing and stuff. So that's it.
That's okay.
But what was the other part of your question? You had another part.
How has this whole process for you been with having like background dancers and doing all that? Because I know that that's something that I never got a chance to see you do, but I know that you're doing it now. And it worked out really good. Like
that was dope. That like I'm leaving. When I leave here, I'm going straight to rehearsal.
Come on, back to rehearsal for the next show. We on the grind, baby. This is what we do.
We're like trying to really get this here, and we like it opened up something for all of us. See, my dancers, they've done it. You know what I'm saying? They do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that was my first time with them, and I just felt so good. Like, it was great. Even like, I missed a step, but you didn't even know.
But listen, it looked really good. You guys were on point. It was awesome.
Sweet. I had so much fun, like, doing that. And I choreographed the first half of... Well, I choreographed the dance for Cinnamon Boy, and if everybody
wait,
could
you
learn
choreographed it, your own choreography?
Yeah, that was mine.
Oh wow!
And then my single that be coming out, and I performed that night too. My girl Tiffany, she choreographed that one.
Shout out to
Really
Tiffany if you're listening, if you're tuning in. Shout out to you, girl. Tiffany the Beast, Tiff the
Yes.
Beast. Oh my God,
Yes.
yes, Tiff. She's an awesome
And
choreographer.
Jay.
She's an awesome dancer. Her and her team, they make it happen
Jermaine,
for sure.
But yeah, I'm inspired by a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really inspired as of right now by the people around me because I only have artists, yourself, like the people around me really kind of bring that out, you know, because like I feel like I'm pushed, you know, being around the friends that I have. Like we all do this.
Hello.
You
gotta surround yourself.
You know?
by,
The people that are
like-minded
around
people.
you are very, very crucial to your
Absolutely.
success.
Exactly.
Denzel Washington, and I preach it all the time, and I tell you all the time, Denzel Washington said 2 things. What's up, Justin Lopez? Shout out to you. I was thinking about you. On my
Hey,
spirit earlier,
Justin.
so we need to talk to you. I'm going to text you or call you. We're going to talk. But anyway, 2 things that Denzel Washington said. If you want to be successful, either surround yourself with people who are already successful at doing what you want to be successful at,
Yep.
or surround yourself with people who are like-minded and wanting to do the things in life and get ahead of life the way you want to get ahead.
Right,
Because that's when you slipping, they're going to be like, what you doing?
Exactly.
You're going to see them on the path doing it, and you're going to be like, oh, I'm slipping. I need to be up there with my friends.
Exactly.
Where my real friends are at.
Mhm.
Right.
So I realized in Australia, I'll say one more thing before we kick it over for a second. And I realized that God took me all the way from New York to live in Australia, all the way on the other side of the world, to realize that you don't really need support of those closest people around you, because those are the ones we always expect to be our closest support. You don't need the support of the people closest around you, because he took me all the way over there to make me realize that there are people who will follow me from here to this show to that show who don't know me from the paint on the wall.
Yeah.
What it is it's not the people who become successful who change, it's the people around them that change. And I really realized that, because as you elevate to another level, of course, you're going to have to do things differently. I used to, eat, fried food all the time and drink a lot of soda. But now I've been working out, trying to, eat better so I can sleep better. So now, I'm doing different things. I don't hang out with the same people and do the same things I used to do no more, because things are changing.
Right.
And people don't understand it. They take it personally, like, oh, you think you better. I don't think I'm better. I just had to make changes in my life to be able to fit my lifestyle has to be a customary to the success that I'm on. So as my life elevates and goes up, things are going to change, and so that's life, and that's how it happens. And people just don't understand it. They misconstrue it as, oh, you think you're better than me because you're doing this, you do that. We can never be better than anybody else, because it's not our job to judge nobody. So
I feel
Exactly.
you. I just cut off a whole bunch of people. Like, it's before the New Year shit. We gotta,
it's before the New Year. The New Year even
before the New
happened.
Year
Yeah.
started, I'm trying to go and clean.
Yeah, spring
shit,
cleaning,
like, it's not even like you
Winter
said a
cleaning.
hate thing. It's just
Okay.
like we just think we ain't at the same level like that, or we're
Yeah.
not going down the same path. Like I have friends back home to where like I decided to love from a distance.
You
I
gotta
ain't cut you off. We just
listen.
here.
A tree grows branches on a tree. All those branches grow leaves, and them leaves fall off from time to time in different seasons. Sometimes you got people in your life that's going to be a leaf, or they're going to be a branch. It's okay. Sometimes branches fall off too when they get withered. They got a termite that got into the one side and they fall off. Hey, we're meant to be. So you just gotta let some things go and let some people go sometimes. And if it's meant for you or they're meant to be in your life, they'll come back. If not, sayonara, baby. Before we move on,
Yeah.
what's next for Thailand? Before we move, we're gonna play your song right after this. You're gonna hear Cinnamon Boy.
Cinnamon Boy.
Yes, right after this. But what's next for you outside of this? Tell the people if they're looking for you. You don't have to tell them where to find you now. We'll do that later. But if they're looking for what's new with your music and performing, what's next for you?
On Christmas, I have a new single coming out. And also, I have a visual coming. I'm not going to say exactly what it is right now because we're still working. And
Okay.
I want it, But it's going to be great. And everything that I do has a message behind it. So this is going to have a great message behind it. And I think people are going to love it.
Come on, spreading messages. If y'all didn't see his performance, you guys have to check it out. He did a wonderful message in regards to HIV and AIDS awareness. And he, took his outfit off, the costume
That's
change,
awesome. That's awesome.
and came out. Did your thing. He gave a little speech about it. Oh, I'm proud of my friend. Yes, God's beloved. Anything? What's next? What you got going on? Just let people know before we move along to 10. It's single.
Me? Well, I was actually on the way here listening to my single that is soon to be released called Foreign Land.
I want to hear it. And by the way, I love your hair. I can't wait to know it's not.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come on, we can
Try,
baby tips
try.
in that.
I'm also working on another single called I Need You. It's taking me a little time. I'm trying to finish it, but it's a little emotional for me, so I'm doing the best what I can with timing on that one, but that should definitely be out soon. Other than that, that's kind of all I got going on at the moment.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Justin involved. Justin, I want you to call in. I typed it. I don't know if you can see it. When we go to break, I'm going to give you the number, Justin, but I want you to call in since you're tuning in. We're going to get you out on the phone over here. But without further ado, we're going to take this over to, what are we listening to? Tell them, bring your song in, Ty.
This is Thailand, and It's Cinnamon Boy.
Here we go.
I'll
Cinnamon.
be a cinnamon egg.
Yes.
Do you want to try a flavor that'll change your life? Sexy cold with lots of spice and tempting to the eyes. No, I don't bite, but if you like, I just might. Anything I'll try. I'll be that type of guy. I'll be a cinnamon boy. I'm everything you need. You need. I'll be a cinnamon boy. Looking good enough to eat. So what's up tonight? You said you wanted quality time. You wanna turn down the lights between the sheets, holding you tight. No, I don't buy, but if I did, then I just might. Anything I will try. I'll be the kind of guy. I'll be a cinnamon boy. I'm everything you need. You need. I'll be a cinnamon boy. Looking good enough to eat. I can be that type of guy that you often will fantasize to marry you. Dream come true. I can be that type of guy that always sparkle in your eyes. Someone true to you. I'll be a cinnamon boy. I'm everything you need. I'll be a cinnamon boy. Looking good enough to eat. I'll be a cinnamon boy.
All right, guys. All right, bring my microphone back. We back. Again, it is our Troy Weeks Music. Keeping it funky with Troy Weeks Music, sorry, on Sunday, second Sundays of the month. I'm here with in studio, Tide Land, Woob on Instagram. If you're looking on Instagram now, you can check them out there. And we got somebody calling in, so we got to see what it is.
Some callers.
And we got at God's Will.
What's up, y'all?
Let's get this person on the phone. We're going to see somebody's calling, y'all.
Thank you.
Who's there?
What is going on?
Is that Justin?
Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
Awesome. Let me put my headphones
What's
on.
up?
So put your headphones on. Everybody's good. Can y'all hear him? Keep talking, Justin. Make sure we can hear you. Oops. There we go. You were there, right, Justin? Can you hear us? Oop. Did I hang up by accident?
Oh, hopefully not.
Huh?
Ooh, 33. That's my number.
I think I hung up by accident.
Yeah.
Call back, Justin. Hopefully he'll call back. He'll call back.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. See what happened was so there was a video that was on Facebook. I don't know where to put this. I'm trying. There was a video on Facebook, right? And the video on Facebook pretty much was of a pastor. The pastor said to a gentleman, he called the guy out and said, "Hey, you with the woman's clothes on, step out into the aisle." He says to the guy, "You with the women's clothes on, step onto the aisle. Don't come in this church. Go home right now and go put some man clothes on. I don't want you coming up in this church with no woman clothes on." Hold on, there's the phone right
There we
there.
go. Call her.
Awesome.
Come on.
Well, I gotta pick it up first. 1, 2, Justin, you there?
I am here. What's
Hey,
going on, man?
Awesome. Yes, my bad. That was probably
Hey,
me. I probably.
Justin.
What's up?
That's okay. I felt like it was the shade room just for a second.
No shade. All tea, no shade. So
hang up the phone on you.
no, we won't do that. Thank you for being this is Table Talk. So our last, for those of you tuning in now, and I just switched over from Facebook to Instagram. Those of you tuning in now, we do Table Talk the last half hour of Keeping It Funky with Troy Weeks Music. We talk about topics, we interview artists, we do all kind of stuff, but we talk about a topic today. Sir Justin, I don't know if you saw my Facebook. There was a video of a pastor who called out a drag queen into the aisle and told him to go home and put some man
Why are
clothes
you
on.
laughing?
We're gonna get there. And he
I'm
says,
sorry.
he
I'm
calls.
going to give you one for this one, right?
I know he calls him out, and he says, put some man clothes on, and there's a lot of people in the background. You see, everyone's like, yeah, hallelujah. He's like, we won't allow it in this house. We just won't allow it. We'll swap the wigs off and all of that. We're not gonna allow it in here. We'll put you on out of here, and you're gonna go. You're a man. You're gonna.
No slapping no wigs off.
They did say snatching wigs off. I guarantee you, I'll play it back. I remember that. I remember that specifically because I was like, wow, really? We'll take the wigs off. He did say that. I'm gonna go back to it on purpose. No, he said that we would. He said we would. He didn't do it. No, he said we would.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
We'll have to rewind that. I guarantee
Yeah,
you.
you got to play that one back.
I'm gonna find it, y'all. Yeah,
He might have said he'd take it off.
we'll take the wigs off.
him?
No, they didn't touch nobody. But anyway, long story short, there was a lot of outrage about it. A lot of people were upset.
I'm sure they were. I think there's a lot of schools of thought right now that would talk about it in a way that would make it try to seem good on both ends. I mean, it is technically burning a candle on both sides, if you want to put it in that perspective. The integrity of a church position, and then also the integrity of someone looking for salvation. So now you're at two points right now where you have somebody who says, come as you are. And be that person. Come as you are, and we will accept you. But then we have people who come as they are, but never want to change who they are. And that's the church perspective. The church perspective is, yes, God says come as you are, but God also basically says, in the process of becoming who you are and in your pursuit of me, I will make changes. Now the other perspective comes from how far the church has come from the compassion of who Christ is. So that's the scary part, is that people want to focus on church matter when it's actually not even a church principle, when it's actually a person principle. It's really a leadership issue. It's really a person's issue. It's not God's issue. It's not the church's issue, because that's not the church God created and died for. It's the church in which man has polluted and now looks at younger men or females and degrades, and now we're looking at a position where we have a bunch of Pharisees in pastoral positions who want to live up to righteousness, and it's okay to live up to righteousness, but to promote it and wear it as banners as if you've done anything. You haven't done anything, because the process is not yours and the victory belongs to God. So how are you in the position that you're in? So that's really my stance on kind of how I look at it.
Thailand's over there sitting on fire. Thailand,
Yeah, it's because everything you're saying, I'm
Thailand,
like,
come on, Thailand.
yeah, I agree. I totally agree with everything you said, period, because what pissed me off about the video is that was that man's personal opinion. Like, you putting that out there.
And I think he actually had that struggle himself. I won't just speak out like
I
that.
think so too. I feel like when you pointed it out like
we're
that,
talking
because
now.
he
What y'all
went
talking
through
about?
and was saying all this other extra stuff. I'm like, yo, now you hating, like you violating him for no reason.
Well,
Go ahead. And so I think there was a video out there that actually said that the pastor did a video that really broke it down to understand, to help people like us to understand where it all came from, because there is two sides to a story.
you
and the way
definitely
things
have to get both sides of the story.
Okay, you know
Well,
what?
Yeah.
I'm with you, because
Yeah.
I'd be ready to go off on
Definitely two lies.
So,
I think.
what did you get the chance to see the video?
I did. I watched the video. I watched the first video, and then I found I don't want to say explanation, but the remarks that the pastor had to say about the incident. And so, I have mixed views on, I guess, the whole drag queen trans thing. I don't want to, go into that. That's my own personal views. However, I was a little confused. But what the pastor did say was that he pulled the young man aside several times. Another lady from the church, the mother of the church, pulled him aside and spoke to him, and stated that there were certain rules, upon joining the church that you had to adhere to. So he was a member of the church, and it wasn't like the pastor just he walked into the church and the pastor was like, "You there, dressed like a woman, stand up." It was something that was repetitive. He told him, "You listen, this is not what we allow in our church. You have to, if you're going to come in here in our church, you have to dress like a man. That's just what it is in the church." And so the pastor felt like he was challenging his authority, and at that moment he called him out. And I felt
there's a great story in the Bible that will speak volume to this situation, and that was when the woman was caught in the act of adultery and thrown before a pastor, aka the shepherd, the rabbi Jesus, and his countenance and his approach and how he reacted to the scenario was something that we don't see today, and even this pastor didn't perform, which is he stooped down and he covered her. And what happened is, I understand that people believe that the church, oh my God, you're in the church, I've been talking to you for weeks, you're doing this on purpose, you're doing whatever it is. But these men around her, and even Jesus, knew she had been doing this on purpose. She was constantly doing it. And he still did not step out of his integrity as a man. He didn't step out of character as Christ. And that's the problem that the pastor has to deal with, is the fact that he stepped out of character. Instead of guarding a man and protecting a man and building into the man and understanding, hey, this guy might be dealing with more than I thought.
Right.
He's in this huge process. Being a drag queen, it's a weird kind of mental game, as well as like, we don't know if that's his job, or sometimes I feel like a drag queen is like Mickey Mouse or Goofy at freaking Disney. Like, they just like to dress up and get a paycheck. Like, yeah. You know what I mean?
It's a
like,
different
to me,
ballgame. Yeah,
I see it as more of a costume situation versus somebody who wants to take on a full-blown sex change.
Right.
But like, on how the integrity is treated, it does fall on the pastor's head. And I understand that people want to take, we got to protect, we're going to protect our pastors and we got to love on them, but they also have to live up to the standards and codes of conduct that the Bible preaches about. And it speaks about how it starts at the head and trickles down into the body.
That's true.
And the problem that we're facing is that a lot of the heads are trying to focus their stuff onto the body when it's really the body who needs to highlight the head. Like, what are you doing wrong that you're allowing this situation to continue to progress? Why didn't you pull him aside and really just say, hey, listen, let's do a couple of counseling sessions. Let's really just talk about this thing. We have to figure it out. You have to come to a place where love is truly patient, and that's what the pastor was failing about. He needed to be more patient with this young man, because that's just the reality. You're going to fight this battle every day. We don't know if he has a masturbation problem, a.k.a. the pastor. We don't know if he has a pornography issue, if he's sleeping with a secretary. We don't know any of these things. But he wants to highlight a man's sin in front of a congregation, and that is not something that is to be adhered to. And I don't think that is a principle of Christ.
See, this is my issue right here. What about if he had no problem at all? What about if that is just every time that this pastor just happened to see him, he just sees him fully as himself? This is the way he just likes to express himself. Period. That's just it. Like, he likes to wear women's clothing, or he likes to do this. So, if that's just him, there's nothing wrong with him. And you know what I'm saying? And he's coming there, like, if he's coming there just, I don't know the person, but I'm saying, like, if he's coming there just for his own salvation, he's not coming there to get any type of tips on how he should dress. It's about his soul. That's what he's there for.
I feel like,
the freedom of expression is one big battle that the church has been battling with for many years.
Exactly.
That has been my issue. The Bible comes with many principles. If you want to hold to that standard, and I know I'm about to take it to like left field and about to blow your minds with what I'm about to say, but if you want to take it to that extent, you have to take it to the point of, if a person is like, hey, I like to express myself by touching kids, and I like to express myself by murdering people. That's not the same thing. I like to express,
is that though?
Yeah, because
that's not the same thing.
Yeah, I know they're not going to say it's the same thing, but it's because it's the principle of how the church has laid out their sin, basically sin requirements, if you want to put it that way. He would be out of line.
That's
Well,
still just not the same
I mean,
thing to me.
the
I know they
pastor-
do that.
The pastor also did say that it wasn't, just the young man that was asked to leave the church. There was a young lady who was asked to leave the church as well because she continuously came in leggings, and he stated that that was also one of the rules. No female should wear leggings because it's distracting for a preacher to be preaching, or men in the clergy to be worshiping the Lord, and then there's a woman walking around with tight clothes on, just as it would be distracting to to be focused, on God, and you see a man walking around in woman's clothing. And I understand it's freedom of expression. You can do what you want to do and express yourself how you wish to. However, when you come into the place of worship, and this is just me speaking personally because I grew up in the church and I'm a pastor's kid, and but I'm also a gay male, so that's that. But I do think that there are certain respects that you owe to the church, and if that's a rule of the church that you decided to join, then you need to follow that rule. Otherwise, find another church to go to that will accept how you express yourself.
Now, there is where I agree.
That's what the pastor said. I did watch the video.
I do agree.
And he did say, listen, after, I will say, I was very furious watching that video. But then when I actually saw what the pastor had to say, it made more sense to me. At the end of the day, that's just always two sides to a story. When you work in media, like I do, when you work in doing the podcast and radio and things like that, you want to make sure you get the facts. You don't want to just be saying things. And so in getting the facts, what he did say, like David said, this young man was a part of the congregation, and he knew the bylaws of what the church expected as a member. And they had spoke to him 3 or 4 times on a personal level. It wasn't just like they just called him out. So because my thing was, why not talk to him personally? Why would you do that?
Yeah,
That's not God to be calling him out in front of people like that, casting stones at him. But then he said, this same young man, when he first did that, I pulled him to the side personally and had a conversation with him.
he should have kept doing it then.
They did it more than once. They even blessed the man with money to help him buy things that he needed to be able to.
Exactly.
He went
So
and bought more shit
right,
than he wanted to.
well, I mean, hey, if the pastor
bought the
covered
wrong
him,
way.
he prayed for him, he blessed him with some money, and if he felt led, I believe he felt led by God to do that. I believe that was him covering him. Saying, hey, he didn't just say.
Do we even know if this was a hot drag queen? Because we got to be sure about that.
Oh my goodness! First
It'd
of
be
all,
horrible. He looked crazy. I'm like, damn.
Too
nigga,
no
crazy.
wonder they said that. They never really showed. That's one thing I didn't see. Also, too, the one thing I never heard is if this man was transgender or just a drag queen, because that makes a big difference.
Right.
If he lives as a woman and identifies himself as a she, or she identifies herself, as a she, then why would it matter? Why should it matter to you if she comes to church?
I think it was more of a trans situation than a drag situation.
But see, we don't know. We need to know. That's what I need to know.
A drag situation is literally, in my opinion, an occupation. And
That's what I
generally
feel.
either, and a trans situation is more of this is not who I am.
Right.
So I don't know. I think for me, I think that the topic of homosexuality or the LGBT community in the church has kind of gotten so out of control that it's hard to rein in on the things that are really happening, even in the smaller areas of sin. I think that people are not really true. How about one of the greatest sins of all time, and people still till today disregard it, and that could be lying, it could be loyalty, it could be loving other gods before God, and those things are just ignored. And we would focus on the things that we can see versus the things that we don't see. And the Bible is very clear. It's the small foxes that eat away at the entire thing. So when people are focusing on this giant big issue of somebody dressing as a woman, or that they want to make it this grandiose kind of thing, this sin's invading the church. No, sin has always been in the church.
Yeah.
It's all a part of life.
A lot of people.
We're born into sin. You can't get rid of it.
I feel it is the fault of both sides of the party. I think there should be forgiveness on both sides. I don't think people should look too deep into the fact that this person, was dressing. I don't care if he dressed in the church 20 times, doing it over and over again. It's not the position of a pastor to stand on a pulpit and truly just destroy a human being. The Bible also says that the power of life and death lies in the tongue, and in that moment, he killed a person, he killed a man, and whatever chance he ever had to help this young man, it is over.
I have to disagree. I mean, because the young man, according to what the pastor says, the young man agreed that he would not come back dressed as he was.
Yeah.
You
now,
know,
that's where I have the issue with it.
Yeah.
Because, at this point, we're not oblivious to what's
going on exactly.
What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I just don't go unless I know that it's like a affirming church or something that
Right.
I like. I learned that like, okay, Ty, you can't fight everybody. So he should have just took that money that he got from him and just went and got him some hair, some bundles, and then just left and went to another church.
He said get bundles and go to the church.
That's what I would have did.
They're gonna give me a fly.
I'm
Live.
dead.
That's what I
At the end of the day, it did spark up conversation,
Oh,
and
Lord.
the conversation that it did spark up, it was something that was one of the conversations on my Facebook that really went crazy. A lot of people was really commenting, talking about that, and Ty was one of those people. And I was really I was actually happy about the conversation that was being had because it was a conversation that needed to be had.
And it was respectful, even though we disagreed at times. And I like that because we could talk about religion and spirituality and, our differences and all our different stuff and still respect each other. Like, at the end of the day, that's really all that matters to me because you cannot agree with something that I'm doing, but you still going to respect me.
Right.
Period.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to. We can see eye to eye, and I love that about that conversation. So I'm glad we can continue.
Listen, I love when church people can come together in different forms because we all church people. Even though we don't know, we all one family. And I feel at the end of the day, if we spend more time loving the way we were supposed to love on each other, then we will be focused less on negativity. And at the end of the day, it's so many things out here that we walk out the door and we're faced with negativity walking out the door. So why not be able to find a positive, uplifting force right next to you? And so we just got to be that positive light for each other, started with one person at a time. So we got a couple more minutes, literally seconds before we get out. So I'd like to do a round table. It was, and this is so awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for being a part of Table Talk.
Yes.
So we're going to do a little round table real fast. We only have 4 minutes. So we're going to do Justin on the phone. Justin, anything you want to say to the people? Any last minute thoughts, any comments, and tell them where to find you before we hang up?
You can totally find me on Instagram at I am Justin Lopez. I'm just a regular dude. I do a lot of photography, digital work, and that's it.
Let me holla at you.
More than a man who loves God.
Come on, y'all better check him out. Again, that's I am Justin Lopez on Instagram, right?
I don't know if I met you, Justin.
You may or may not have. Y'all my friends. You may or may not. Thank you so much, Justin. We appreciate you. For being a part of it. We really appreciate all of that. It's great audio. We'll be able to listen to it back. It's going to be after a couple days or a day or two, or it's on iTunes, Spotify, all that good stuff, and it's going to soon be on iHeartRadio after our next episode next month. So stay tuned. You could definitely check it out now on Spreaker.com, listening live, or you can check it out later on via Spreaker.com of the app, or go to one of the links in my Instagram bio. It'll show you. Thank you so much, Justin. All right, we're going to move right along to our next special guest that's on today, Mr. Thailand. Anything last words, anything for the people before we head out?
Just speaking on the subject, and this also shouts out my single, always be yourself no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Find safe spaces to go to.
Indeed.
Find those things that are out there for the youth and stuff that go through different issues and stuff like that, especially the ones that grow up in churches and stuff. Look for safe spaces. Again, they're out there, and continue to be your own flavor. Okay, you can find me at on Instagram at _ TYLAAN _ that's _ Thailand _ okay, and then you just Google me, Thailand, boom. If you look up ThaiTian.com, then look, you'll find me up there too. I gotta change my website. I gotta get on that because I changed my name. Yeah, I know.
You sure did. Thank you so much, Ty. Definitely check him out, guys. You got that single. You heard his song.
Cinnamon Boy was dope.
Thank you. Please check it out.
Yes.
And last but not least, co-host of today, we got at Godspeed Love It Universe. Please tell them any last minute words, and then let them know what to find.
Well, yeah, I still got some people going off on my live about the last topic. It's definitely touchy. But Yeah, I guess, just to piggyback off of what Ty said, definitely stay true to yourself. It took me a while to really become comfortable. It's no joke, y'all. It's really hard growing up, especially in the church, being a gay male and trying to live in this world. It's really hard. It's like, it's really like crazy. But
To God be the glory.
yeah, to God be the glory. Stay strong, stay prayed up, stay healthy. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't want to run over time, but I always tell everybody, about being healthy. I recently changed my diet. Well, not recently. It's been probably about a year now. I don't eat GMOs. I don't eat, like fast food. I take black seed oil and turmeric oil every morning. It's really, really good for you. It's really healthy. I don't want to go into all the details, but definitely research it. Black seed oil, turmeric oil, cold pressed, super healthy. Organic is the best way to go. You can follow me at God's Beloved Universe on IG and Facebook. Stay tuned for Foreign Land, soon to come out on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere. My first single, y'all, about to be out, so I'm lit. But yeah, again, God's Beloved, y'all.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Well, I appreciate you. And that, guys, that's our time. It don't cost you no money to be you guys. It's free. Be the best you can be. That's all you can be. Go into a new year knowing that, hey, I'm in control of my destiny. I just need to, stay focused on the grind. Stay focused on the grind. It's been real. This is the second Sunday, each and every second Sunday. You know what we do out of Sky's Custom Radio, Keeping It Funky with Troy Weeks Music. Shout out to my co-host today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for being a part of what I was doing. Thank you guys, Justin, for calling in.
Yes,
and thank you guys on Facebook and Instagram for liking, waving, all of that good stuff. Sharing if you're sharing. And until next month, until next time, the same time, keep it funky, y'all. Until next time with Troy Weeks Music.
Yo, what's going on? Y'all listening to Sky's Crescent Radio, and here's what's coming up.